Are you watching the news? There's an increased possibility of power outages. The question is, are you ready?
If you don't know us, I'm Larry.
And I'm Hope.
And we're from Under the Median, where every week we bring you videos on practical frugality. And we received a message from one of our viewers this week who was 30 hours without power. That's a long time.
Yeah, and that sort of brought to our mind immediately, how prepared are we for that length of a power outage? And that's when we went through all of the things that we have available for power outages. We thought, you know what, we're just going to bring them into the studio, put them on the table, and we'll show you some of the things that we have that helps us to be ready in case the power goes out.
There are so many reasons for why you could lose power.
Yeah.
For one, we have an aging grid, and there's more demands being placed on it through the green initiatives. Also, there are storm possibilities through the summer and fall months. We're talking about high winds that can take trees down and pull power lines down, where you can be without power anywhere from 3 hours to maybe even a couple of days. And the main thing is, are you ready for such an event?
Yeah, and those of you who are living on the coast are like, hurricane season. Yeah, we see you waving. We're aware that hurricane season is starting very, very soon. All of these things combined, regardless of setting aside, acts of God, nature, or any political movements that may or may not be happening, setting all those aside, there are a lot of reasons why it pays to be prepped for possible power outages. And here's one of the things. You all know that this channel is about frugality. Well, how does frugality fit in with power outages and spending money on being ready for power outages? Look, if you decide you're not going to prepare for power outages, you can do that. But inevitably what winds up happening is when there is an emergency, and an emergency by definition is unexpected.
Yeah.
When that happens, people flood the stores buying everything that's on the shelves. They clean the stores out of all the currently available stock, and the prices skyrocket. So honestly, if you take some time to find out what's available and slowly buy things that are within your ability and your budget to be able to do it, honestly, we believe really, really strongly that being prepared is super important.
Another thing, too, to take into consideration is that these products can also help you save money on your utility bill. So not only are you going to be prepared for a possible, and I would say in many cases, inevitable emergency, you will also be able to use these during times when you have power to shut your lights off or not use things that are in your house that's going to cause you to have money coming off of your budget that you're pouring into the grid.
Because it is August, we're going to be focusing on items that we have in the house for warm weather power outages. As we go along, guys, we'll make sure that there are links available for these products. They'll be in the description of the video. And just so you know, they are affiliate links.
We've had an organization that gave a message out. Was it this week when they gave that out?
No, it was actually in May. It's NERC.
NERC
sent a message out.
That
NERC stands for
North American Electric Reliability. So they're the ones that kind of do a survey of the grid, and they kind of decide where are the weakest areas. Now, here's a map showing where they feel the areas of concern are, and you'll notice it's about 2/3 of the United States. Now, I don't know if you're in another country what your expectations are there, but you might check with your local authorities to see what the reliability factor is where you live.
Tell us in the comment section before we get started, are power outages something that are currently on your mind? And are you prepared for such power outages? We'd love to hear from you in the comments section. When it comes to lights in emergency, yes, you can use candles. Yes, you can use those cheap, like they're on a stake, those solar power lights from Dollar Tree. Those aren't actually horrible things to use, and they're incredibly inexpensive things to use. However, particularly when you look at those solar light things available from Dollar Tree, you are not spending very much money, and you're getting something that could perhaps not last you nearly as long as you would like it to last. We have a couple of products that we have purchased ourselves that we absolutely love.
I want to go back just briefly to those stake lights. Those are the kinds that you put out in your garden or around the front of your house. They solar charge during the day. They automatically come on at night. We've had some of those. We have some for the backyard. We've had some for the front yard. And they put out a pretty good light. But here's the problem with those. If you get an extended cloudy period and they're not getting charged, there is no way to charge those. So you're out of luck when it comes to the time of a storm. They're not fully charged. They're not going to supply light. So we would recommend products that you can plug into a USB power supply or plug into your wall or your power station or even your portable generator that can supply light for you when you're really going to need it.
The other thing you have to be aware of with these inexpensive solar lights is the fact that some of them do not have an on-off switch. They're just on.
Yeah.
And as they get down below a certain power level, one of our viewers told us this, they flash.
Oh.
And she said she felt like she was in a weird discotheque with the solar lights flashing. She's like, mental note. Make sure next time you buy the ones that have an on-off switch. So that caveat if you're going to go that route. But as Larry said, we've got some products that we're actually super, super excited about.
Our favorite lights, and this is a company that we've grown to really appreciate, are made by Hybrid Light. This is a company out of Utah. They're family owned. They're actually a fairly small company. They're very responsive. When you email them, they'll answer your questions. They've got a great website. They have all kinds of information on their website about their different products. And for each product, they include a copy of the owner's manual. So you can even take a look at the owner's manual and get the specifics about any item that you're looking at. This is their flagship item that they have. This is called the Atlas 600. And it's called that because it puts out 600 lumens of light on its high setting. Right now, it's on the low setting. This is 25 lumens that it's putting out at the moment. And on 25 lumens, it will actually run 100 hours. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And this puts out a pretty good amount just for an area light. So I'm going to shut it off. When you turn it on, if you just keep holding the button down, it brightens up to 600 lumens, and that is super bright. I mean, that's an awesome. It also has a flashing mode. But here's what makes this a really good light and why we like it so much. It's got the solar panel built in on the top. That allows for trickle charging. So if you leave that in a window that's getting some sunlight or even daylight, that will show charging. Now this lights up red, and that LED is actually lighting up just from our studio lights. So it's getting some charging just from the lights that we have in here. So it doesn't take a lot to charge it. And the other thing that I like about it is that you can charge it with this micro USB input on here, and then it has two USB-A outputs, so you can charge something that you have. It does have a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, so it's got a decent amount of battery in there. On the high setting, it'll actually run for 5 hours. That's on the 600 lumen setting. And it's waterproof. It'll float. Isn't that cool? So that's a really awesome light. Another product, we just got a couple more. We bought these from the site.
We did. We liked this one so much. We've had this one for, I think, a couple of years. We found out about it from Provident Prepper, another YouTuber. And we liked it so much that we bought two more of them. They're like the cousins to this light.
Oh, yeah. And this is their 300 lumen flashlight. And once again, it's got that solar panel, so it will trickle charge when you leave it in an open window or you leave it out in the bright sun. And then it also has, you unscrew the bottom of it here, and then you can charge it with a micro USB port. And it also has a USB port on here for charging other items. So once again, this is kind of a smaller version of this light. It puts out about half the amount of light. There are two settings on it. There's a dimmer and a brighter setting, and obviously it'll last longer on that dim setting. This is small. It'll fit in your purse or your pocket, take it along, or your glove compartment in your car. Excellent little light. We've used that quite a bit. It will run 50 hours on the low beam and 5 hours on that high setting. Awesome little light. My absolute favorite out of all the lights is this one called the Mammoth. Now, the Mammoth puts out 400 lumens, and it will run about 18 hours on that setting. It also has a smaller setting, which is a little dimmer. That's a 75 lumen setting, and that's what it's on now. Let me just turn it off and turn it on. There's the high setting. That puts out a lot of light. This is adjustable, so you can aim it down, or you can aim it back to kind of light up a ceiling. And it also has a flashlight on the top. So it's got a lot of different functions. To charge it, there's a port on the front of it there. That's a micro USB port. And it also can be used to charge other products that will charge off of a USB-A port. The battery on here is about the same size as they put in their regular lantern. The other thing that I really like about this is that you can throw this into the wall and charge that on 110 volts. So if you got a storm coming up, once again, you may not have any sunlight coming in your window. And if this is down on a charge, you can plug it in and it'll charge that up in just a few hours. It also has the indicator on the front. 4 LEDs tells you what charge it is by percentages. Excellent lights. These are really good to have in an emergency.
Interestingly, while we were getting this program ready and kind of pulling out the things that we knew that we really, really wanted to show to you, we noted that almost all of these products are on sale right now. Now, the hybrid lights are not necessarily on sale, but we like them so much that we contacted the company and we scored a 20% off discount code for you guys. So look for that discount code in the description of the video.
And I've got it right here too on the bottom part of the video. So that will give you quite a bit off on those.
Now these lights are not solar, but in the vein of lights that we have purchased that we really, really like, we use these all the time.
Yes.
Every night we use these to light up our family room. Has a little switch on it. You switch it on and off. It's a USB light. Larry's going to tell you more about it.
Well, we use it with a power station. So we'll plug this into one of our power stations, and that will run a very long time off of a power station because it's only drawing about 7 watts for that. I use those for reading lights. We have one over the sink that we use for washing our dishes with, and we have a couple more that hang from our kitchen chandelier. So these are very, very handy. And once again, if you're used to using them when the power is on, you'll be very comfortable using them when the power is off. Now, these are kind of decorative string lights, and all of these together only use about 7 watts. And once again, this is a USB powered system. So once again, we plug that into one of our power stations. You can plug them into a wall outlet. That's fine. They'll run off of 110. If you've got the charger that you use for your phone, that you plug your phone into, all it needs is a USB-A charger to run these as well. They also can be run off of little portable battery banks. So all kinds of different ways to operate them. Really good lighting. We use this as ambient lighting when we're watching a movie off the TV.
We have one more light to show you, and this one is kind of serves a dual purpose because not only will it provide light for you, but it also will get a breeze going because it's a light with a fan. How cool is that?
This is an excellent product we bought off of Amazon. Very bright lights. That will run all night. We've actually used that as a night light. And it only uses about 8 watts of power. It has a 10,000 milliamp hour battery built in. So this will run and run and run. It has a 3-speed fan. So that fan puts out...
Wait, show them. There. There's the fan.
It puts out some decent air. This is actually designed to be a camping fan, but it can be hung up. There's a hook on top, so this can be hung from anything, or you can just set it on a table and use the table stand that it's built into it.
And that's a great tip. If you're preparing for power outages, one of the things that you want to look is just Google like camping lighting products or something like that, because all the camping products are designed to be used when you do not have electricity, or the vast majority of them are. We like that fan so much we have 2 of them.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this on the Mammoth hybrid light. It has a hook right here, and it has magnets, so you can actually put that on anything metal like a filing cabinet or your refrigerator, and that way you can put it in a horizontal position or upside down. That magnet will hold it. So lots of different ways to use these emergency lights.
All right, so we got you some lighting. We also just showed you how you can get some air moving in the area you're sitting in if the power goes out and it's the middle of summer. But there actually is something else you need to think about, and that is water. You always have to remember, and of course those of you who are using wells are very well aware of this. Did you get that?
Well.
And that is that if you lose power, that well pump is not going to work unless you have a backup power source for that well pump. But we're assuming that when the electricity goes out, that if you have a well, you're not going to have a water source. So the minute you find out that there's a storm impending, it's a good idea, of course, to fill up vessels with water. But there's a couple other things we want to show you that we think are fantastic when it comes to providing water in an emergency.
Well, this is a very portable system, and it makes good sense. This is for when you just need on-demand clean water. These were designed mostly for backpacking and camping, but they can be used during emergencies. If you live near a lake, a creek, or you have water somewhere available for you outside that's not necessarily drinkable, this will make the water drinkable. And you just simply have to have a soda bottle to put it in. This is a bottle from Aldi's, and we have it screwed in. And then you just kind of suck on it, and there it is putting out the water. So that's going to be filtered water, an excellent little deal. And it's called an emergency survival water straw. There's what the box looks like for this product.
You can get single ones. This is a set of 5. They're like $40 on Amazon. And as we said, it's a really weird twist of fate that almost everything we're showing you is on sale right now at whatever source we're showing you.
And you
in
may,
that particular way, it's Amazon.
And you may never need to use these products, at least like the water straw. But if you should need it, there you have it in the house. It's not that expensive. Throw it up in a cupboard somewhere. It's there for you should you have that need.
It is reusable too. I mean, it's not like you use it once and then.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can use it like a whole bunch of times before those water straws wear out.
That's
we think
right.
they're a great product.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of water, everything that we've shown you so far, we've actually paid for out of pocket. This was a free sample, guys, that was sent to us by the company. So we want to make sure that you're aware of that. Hydro H2O. They did not ask us to even talk about them. The reason we're talking about them is we were so incredibly impressed with this product. Let me tell you what we did. I got this. It was in the middle of a heat wave here in central Illinois, 95 degrees outside. I filled this with water, put some ice in it, stuck it smack dab in the middle of the yard.
In the sun.
In the
blazing sun.
For 3 hours at 95 degrees, came back outside, and it was cool to the touch, and it was not like there was no condensation on the outside. So I knew that the water that was in there was staying cool. I brought it back inside, and it was filled with ice. So after that point, I just set it inside, and 48 hours later, there was still ice in this flask.
I had the very same experience with their 64-ounce model. This is the big boy right here. And once again, we left it out in the bright sun. It's even black, and black tends to absorb heat. And I thought, oh boy, this is going to be really stretching it. No condensation. There was ice in it when we brought it inside. It was out all day. We put it out at like 8:30. He kind of forgot it.
He was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I put it out at about 8:30 in the morning, and the sun was down when I finally brought it in. And when I brought it in, I shook it, and there's ice in it, ice cold. And I left it for another day, an additional day, still had ice in it. Water was perfectly good. These are really good for storing water in should you have a power outage and you have a little bit of extra water on hand. Of course, they're great for camping and recreation.
Or just hiking.
Yeah.
Or he takes it on his bike trips.
Yep, or the gym or whatever. These are, I think, some of the best water bottles that we've ever had. So we are ordering more of these for Christmas presents, but don't tell anybody.
Don't tell our kids that. That's what I was going to say. For one thing, I didn't think I could be as impressed with a water bottle as I am with this water bottle. I am so happy with this that, they're on sale right now at Amazon, guys. I'm going to make sure that there's links once again in the description of this video. And we're shopping Amazon, and we're going to get some gifts for the kids for Christmas. We're shopping ahead.
Absolutely.
It's great to have all of these things that we've talked about, but you generally need a power source at some point in order to supply power for these items that we're showing you. Opus portable power stations, guys, this is hands down. We've looked at and reviewed a lot of portable power stations. Opus is without a doubt, hands down, our favorite that we've ever had. We have 3 of them, and just to be clear, we've had them for about 2 years, but Opus did originally supply us with these as product samples.
Yeah, this is the 1800 watt unit. What I like about this is it puts out a lot of power. We use it daily to run our coffee maker and our lights in the kitchen. I can run 7 pots of coffee through this on one charge. Then I put it out in the backyard, charge it up. It takes about 4 hours. 1800 watts gives you a great deal of power. It will also run our sump pump, which is very important. And of course, the garage door opener, lights, entertainment center. Very handy unit, good size. They make larger ones and they make smaller ones. This one happens to be on sale at the moment with the 4 100-watt panels. I think it's around $1,500. Really good price. That's a great price for one of these.
We got a coupon code for you, though, guys. If you'll use Under the Median as the coupon code, then it'll take 10% off of your order when you buy an Opus. We'll make sure, once again, links in the description of this video. So 7 pots of coffee, huh?
Yeah.
So what you're telling our viewers that this is enough to last for one day, right? So just kidding. Just kidding. You all know that we love coffee, but we don't do 7 pots. I give you my word, it's 1 pot a day.
Yeah, just 1 pot, yeah.
We did see when we were getting ready to record this video, we went to the Opus website and we saw that it looks like they're getting ready to have a hurricane preparedness flash sale. Now, whether that flash sale is still going on at the time you're watching this video or not, I don't know, but it's worth heading to the website to find out if they still have that great sale going on. And don't forget, once again, about our coupon code that we have available for you. There are so many different things that you can use in order to stay cool, comfortable, have lights during a power outage, especially if it's in the summer months. You can wear lightweight clothing. You can also put a damp washcloth across the back of your neck or across your forehead. And we're not forgetting to mention those things, but we have talked about those a little more in depth in some of the other videos that we've done about power outages. One of them, by the way, is a video we did about low-cost opportunities to keep cool during warm weather power outages. That video, if you'd like more information about power outages, is right over there.